If you're deep in a demanding career, you already know the drill, right? It's long hours, you're always connected, and there's that constant pressure to be innovating. But what's the real cost? Today, we're jumping into an explainer on how you can balance that ambition with your own well-being, using insights from Bala Morgan CRA's guide for pros just like you. Let's break down how to get your health back on track without hitting pause on your career.
And wow, this quote from our source material just nails it, doesn't it? In the race to build the next big thing, it is so easy to forget about the one engine that powers everything, our own health. This really sets the stage for a problem that I think a lot of us know firsthand.
So before we can even start talking about a solution, we really have to get a super clear picture of the problem itself. Let's dive into the core challenge that so many modern professionals are up against.
To make this all feel a bit more real, our source introduces us to a guy named Amen. Now, Amen is a fictional character, but his story, well, it's anything but fiction for a lot of people. He's a brilliant tech professional, totally passionate about his work, but his body and his mind are starting to flash some serious warning lights. And this, right here, is the central conflict. On one side, you've got all the incredible rewards of a career in tech. You're innovating, you're successful. But on the other side, there's a really steep price: total burnout, chronic pain, and just feeling emotionally checked out.
And for Amen, these aren't just abstract ideas. This is his daily reality. That nagging back pain that never goes away from being glued to his desk. Stress levels that are pretty much always at a 7 out of 10. You know that feeling, the afternoon energy crash that just hits you like a wall? Followed by being completely wiped out by the evening. And this feeling that work has taken over everything, even his sleep. I mean, does any of this ring a bell?
Okay, so we've laid out the problem. It's pretty clear. But Aman's story isn't actually about burnout. It's about a breakthrough. So let's shift gears and look at the solution, because this is where a whole new way of thinking comes in.
And that solution really starts with this idea of holistic health. This is not about treating symptoms one by one, just taking something for the back pain. It's a much bigger, more integrated approach. It's about recognizing that your mind, your body, and your spirit, your sense of purpose, are all deeply, deeply connected. You can't truly fix one without paying attention to the others.
So this model kind of shows you how it all fits together. It all starts with your physical wellness. That's the foundation, how your body is doing. And that directly impacts your mental and emotional harmony, your thoughts, your feelings. And that, in turn, plugs into your spiritual connection, that bigger sense of why. See how they're all linked? You can't have one piece thriving while the others are struggling. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but how on earth do you apply it when you've got deadlines stacking up and a calendar full of meetings? Well, this is the cool part. The book shows us exactly how Aman took these ancient ideas and made them work in his super modern office life.
He starts with Ayurveda, which is an ancient Indian system of medicine. And it's not about some massive, life-altering overhaul. It's all about small adjustments to find balance. For example, Ayurveda might see the constant stress and multitasking of tech work as an excess of vata energy. Think of it like wind, just chaotic and all over the place. So how do you fix that? With grounding, calming routines. All that screen time and intense focus, that can create too much pitta, or fire. So you soothe it with cooling practices. And sitting all day, that leads to kapha, or stagnation, which you fight with movement that gets your energy up.
Next up is yoga. But forget about needing to rush to a 90-minute class. We are talking about super simple, really effective movements you can do literally at your desk. Things like seated twists to just release all that tension in your spine. Neck stretches to undo the damage of staring at a screen all day. The whole key here is to sprinkle these little bits of movement throughout your workday, not save it all for later.
And then there's mindfulness. Again, this is not about trying to empty your mind for an hour. It's about having quick tools you can use right in the middle of a crazy day. The 4-7-8 breathing technique, for instance, can calm your entire nervous system down in like a minute. And just the simple act of single tasking, focusing on one thing at a time instead of juggling 10, can make a huge difference in that feeling of being completely overwhelmed.
All right, so now we have these really powerful tools, right? Ayurvedic ideas, yoga at your desk, little mindfulness tricks. But here it is, the million-dollar question. How do you turn a few good days into a habit that actually lasts for a lifetime, especially when work inevitably gets crazy again?
This brings us to the final and I'd argue the most important part of Aman's whole journey. It's not just about the things you do, it's about building a system so you can keep doing them for the long haul.
And that's because the goal here is to get way beyond temporary fixes. We're not looking for some 2-week wellness challenge that you just forget about. We are talking about building a personal blueprint, a sustainable system that's going to support a healthy and genuinely fulfilling future, even when you're living life in the fast lane.
So what does that blueprint actually look like? Well, it's about making these new habits feel just as automatic as brushing your teeth. It's about choosing consistency over intensity. A 10-minute walk every single day is way better than one heroic 2-hour gym session a week. It means personalizing everything so it actually fits your life, not someone else's. And maybe most importantly, it's about setting real, clear boundaries between your work life and your personal life.
So we want to leave you with this final thought from the source material. In an industry that is so focused on innovating for the world, creating the next big thing, what if the most important, the most groundbreaking project you ever worked on was yourself? Just imagine what you could build then.